everybody. Welcome to our first edition of the Wrestling Huddle. And what a great year it's going to be for area wrestling. I'm joined here with Bob Steer, who's the review sports writer and our wrestling guru, I might call him. And Bob, it's going to be a fun year in area wrestling, is it not?
It really is, Mike. The teams in the area, they're all good.
Yeah, they are.
They're all very strong programs. In the past, I'd say in the past decade, Alliance maybe hasn't been up at that level with, West Branch has been top of the tier.
Right.
Marlington's been right there.
Right.
But I'll tell you, Alliance is a team that
my goodness,
they're gonna challenge.
Yeah, they sure are.
I don't know that they're quite ready to win a championship, but they're right there and they're capable. I think they have some horsepower, and if some things go their way, they could. They're a legitimate challenger this year.
Coach Shaw has really injected some firepower into that team. I mean, they play with they go after it. A lot of aggression, and I love to watch their matches because they'll come right down to the end, and every match they will contest that. So tell me a little bit about. Let's start with the Aviators. Tell me a little bit about some of their top guys for the Aviators this year who are going to lead them.
Well, I'll tell you the two leaders that I see is Christian Jackson, returning state placer. Just had a phenomenal campaign last year, and really it was fun to watch because he didn't start out very impressively. I mean, he was just looked good, but really as the season went along, you could tell he just started it started clicking for him, and he peaked at the perfect time. He peaked out on Columbus and ended up getting on the podium. So. He's going to be back, and Spencer Nagy is one. And he's a kid that he's battled injuries for several years now, and some injuries I know that they haven't even disclosed. I know the family, and that they're just that kind of people. Just suck it up and go do it.
Sure.
And so he's battled through a lot of pain, a lot of injury, and he looks healthy. Last time I talked to him and talked to his dad, he's healthy, so he's going to be fun to watch. And they have a bunch of young guys.
Yeah, they do.
They have an outstanding freshman class coming in. Deuce Johnson, Parker Utley, and Marcus Davis. All three placed at junior high state last year.
Wow.
So, that's a real nice class coming in.
And as far as Marlington goes, Kurt Hamilton's got a great program. And I tell you what, I think the Dukes are going to be right there knocking at the NBC title door this year. It's going to be interesting.
They are absolutely going to be knocking on the door. They open up at home against West Branch on Thursday. That's going to be a fun one. I think that they are another legitimate challenger. I think all three of these immediate area teams are legitimate challengers. We're going to find right out of the gate where Marlington is at with West Branch. And again, West Branch has been undefeated 8 years in a row.
That's amazing. 8 years to be undefeated in that Atlantic. Good league.
They're the gold standard of the league, and until someone knocks them off, someone has to beat them before anyone else can talk about a league title. Marlington, I have talked to Kurt, and he's very confident. He likes this group of kids, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun match.
Really
he's got individually, he's got some really outstanding individuals. He's got Tony Rupert back, state qualifier, Brennan Joseph, state qualifier, and you look up and down that lineup. Even though it's a mixture of youth, a lot of that youth has some experience. Some of those kids wrestled as freshmen and as sophomores, so. He has a very nice team this year.
And then we look ahead to West Branch. Again, they've pretty much been the standard for a long time in area wrestling, and it looks like Jason Brown's got another good team out in Beloit.
Coach Brown definitely has another team. Another West Branch team is the best way to say it. They have a large senior class this year, which they didn't have last year. They only graduated really a couple seniors that were starters in the lineup. They have a big senior class. I think they're probably going to have 7 or 8 seniors starting this year. Wow. So they're going to have a lot of senior leadership, and they have some really good-looking underclassmen coming up to support those seniors. So, they are. They're West Branch, and they're going to bring it every night. And I guess that's the one thing you can say about West Branch. Even in their down years, they've had some adversity. It's not always been easy over 8 years. But they've just managed to work their way through it and just come out on top.
Can you talk about some of those possible matchups between Marlington and West Branch? Like maybe 3 or 4 of the better ones that you see Thursday night in that match, Bob?
Well, since it's preseason, it's hard to tell because of weights.
Because they bump guys around.
Last year we had Rupert and Hughes had some great battles, but I don't know if they're going to be coming in at the same weight this year. It's possible they could be both at 160 or 170, somewhere in there. Last year, Pigeon and a youngster named Eric Gerback had a I think it was a 1 or 2 point match. It was a battle. So that'll be interesting to see. With Pigeon being a senior this year, I think Travis is going to have a big year this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that match plays out. Again, there's just it's hard to know with where the kids are going to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of gamesmanship between the coaches too when you get to stuff like that, because you'll see the one team has to send their guy out and the other guy may send. It's all about matchups a lot of times, especially in wrestling.
Absolutely, and there are times where coaches will want their best against the other kid's best, just from an individual standpoint. But you're right. If the match is on the line and an advantage can be gained by maybe holding back your better wrestler, to bump them to the next weight class, absolutely, they're going to do that. So it'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
How that plays out.
Right off the get-go, first match of the year, you've got West Branch at Marlington. That it doesn't get much better than that. That should be an electric atmosphere in Marlington's gym come Thursday night.
Yep, that's going to be a good one. And also, I believe Alliance opens up with Minerva.
They go to Minerva.
And Minerva is traditionally one of those top 4-tier teams. I don't know that Minerva has the depth of talent this year, but they've got some talented kids, and they're always so well coached.
Right.
So we'll find out where Alliance is too. I think it's a really good opening weekend,
sure is.
Or week for the NBC for our immediate area teams.
Yeah, even though it's week 1, it may tell a lot right off the get-go on their first matches tonight. Well, that should do it for this week's edition of the Wrestling Huddle. Make sure and tune back in each week. It should be a really, really good year for wrestling. The review area is always tremendous in wrestling, and it should be a quality year this year. So we're looking forward to it. So tune in again next week. For Bob Steer, I'm Mike Brown.